Hello and welcome to the podcast Card Whisperer, a tarot journey with your host, Shelly Speaks. So today is our first podcast. This is a new podcast. And today we're going to do a little introduction, the who, what, where, when, and why, and go from there. So I know that some of you listening already know me. I appreciate you being here, but please bear with us as I introduce myself to new people who have never met me before. So, my name is Shelly Speaks, and I have been reading the tarot organically without any training since I was 14 years old, and I am now 56. So, I know that's ancient for some of you, but I've been doing this for a long time. And I started out, well, I was attracted to tarot cards. I was attracted to their artistry and all the pictures and all the symbolism. And so I bought some tarot cards and I just started, well, immediately something happened. I could read them, they were giving me messages. So I just started out doing readings for my girlfriends, which they got a lot of free readings just for fun. And then in 2012, I chose to start creating, a business and doing readings for other people professionally. And since then, I've been doing readings for clients all over the world, from here, where I am in America, all the way down to Australia and everything in between. So, this podcast is going to be about my own little stories and journey with the tarot, education about the tarot, education about finding a reader that works for you and is a contribution to you, and everything in between. And each show will also have a message from spirit. Now, I did used to do a show years ago, I think back in 2012, called Message from Spirit on Blog Talk Radio. And those shows are still there somewhere, but I just actually heard today that Blog Talk Radio is going to be no more as of January 2025. So I either have to let those go or transfer them somewhere, but that's for another time. So these podcasts are going to be short and sweet. I don't think any of us have time to spend hours listening. So I plan to create content that gets to the point quickly so that you can go on about your day and enjoy your life. Okay. Um, so I do private readings, I do group readings, I do mentorship. So if you are someone who would like to be a tarot reader, I can take you on a journey of mentorship. And I will also create some classes in the future if you want to do some kind of home study and learn about the tarot that way. This show is going to be weekly or bi-weekly. I haven't quite figured out how that's going to fit into all of the other things I do. Um, I am a tarot reader. That was kind of the first place I started, but I also do a lot of coaching for the creation of your life. I have a group coaching program called Billionaire Babe, where I teach you how to create your life. I'm a healer, so I do healing sessions. I'm a writer. I do have a book that I wrote, let's see, The Oracle of Money, many, many moons ago, and it's time for me to write an updated version of that. So, I can commit to weekly or bi-weekly, but we'll see. And it may be different. So please turn on your notifications if you want to stay current with the podcasts. And if you've ever would like a private reading, I'm going to put some links in the show notes, or you can send me an email directly. It's ShelliSpeaks, ShelliS, P as in Paul, EAKS at gmail.com. So ShelliSpeaks at gmail.com, and it's Shelly with an I. And I'm also going to do some free readings if you'd like to come on the podcast and get a free reading. So email me for that as well. So I think I've quickly covered, actually faster than I thought, everything that I wanted to say. So we're going to do a message from Spirit. Now, this message is for you, whether you're listening today, December 5th, the date that I'm recording this, or you're listening sometime in the future. We're asking for a message for you. And in the future, I'm just kind of tapping in to see if this is for now or for the future. So let's just do this now, see what happens. So I also want to give you a tip about reading the tarot, getting a reading from a tarot reader, etc. One thing you want to look for in a tarot reader, sometimes when people are getting a reading for the first time, they're nervous. That's normal. Um, you know, it's normal to be nervous for anything that's a first time. However, you also want to have like what we would call like a good vibe or be comfortable with this person. This person shouldn't feel dangerous or scary or anything like that. And if they do, that's probably not the reader for you. You also want to look for someone who puts the ball in your court, meaning you're responsible for the creation of your life and you can handle it. Yes, we do require assistance sometimes from healers and readers and coaches. However, you're in charge of all of that stuff. You're running the show. And if you ever come to someone who kind of puts you in a position of a victim or disempowers you or tells you that they are the only one that can, shift or change this for you and then starts charging you crazy amounts of money, that's probably not the reader for you. Now, with that said, I have expressed to clients that sometimes they need contribution from another person, simply because in that moment, energetically, they're not up for the task. So I'll give an example. Let's say that someone is choosing to create a business, they come to a reading, and I see that they have a lot of heaviness, like depression and sadness, and they're creating this from fear. Just I could go on and on. They may not be able to, in that moment, kind of eradicate that. So they will require some assistance, maybe a healing session, maybe some energy processing, whatever. But that's not forever. That's temporary, just to kind of get them into a place where they can handle things for themselves, get them more in a place of joy and the things opposite of fear and depression and confusion and all that stuff. So just pay attention when you're dealing with someone, what their intentions are. Their intention should be to empower you, to make your life greater. And a reading is just information. It's not going to necessarily change your life or heal your life. It may give you awareness that leads to the healing or awareness that leads to the change. But it's just a tool of information. And it's usually showing you things that you're unwilling to see or that are kind of blocked from your view for whatever reason. All right, so that's my tip. So now we're going to, I'm kind of shuffling, trying to do it quietly over here. We're just going to pull a message for you. And then we will see you next time. All right, give me a few seconds. Bear with me. I probably should have shuffled before I started. Okay. All right. So this is a pretty big message for you. So New beginnings are always opening up for us all the time. We live in a bunch of cycles. We have the cycles of the year, the cycle of the month, the cycles of the planets. Our birthdays come around, all of these cycles. So, new beginnings, we kind of go through a process, I'll say, or steps where it's, you started a new beginning, you go through the process, you have an ending, and you start again. Some of these things are very quick, and some of these things are very long. So, collectively, we have a lot of big, giant, huge new beginnings that are opening up to us. These are congruent with feminine energies, divine feminine, divine mother, the goddess, doesn't matter. It's a feminine energy. And these energies are about creating your life with a lot of flow, with a lot of ease, with a lot of relaxation. So, most of us, again, I'm in my 50s, most of us have been taught to work hard, or hard work will get you to where you'd like to go. And if you look out into the world right now, because that I'll call it that paradigm, or that kind of frequency that was locked into our planet, it literally left in about, I think it was like 2016. However, it's so entrained into us that people are still functioning from that paradigm. However, if you look at the younger generation, teenagers, early 20s, late 20s, even some 30-year-olds, they are generating, creating copious amounts of income and not working that hard. So, the divine feminine, goddess, divine mother, is kind of opening this door for the collective where, if you're willing, you can have this frequency of victory, success, recognition, this forward movement of your life without hard work and labor. Now, if we were sitting in my coaching program, this would be the point where I would start clearing away a bunch of energies, but that's not appropriate for this show. So, this is more about be aware of where you are stuck in old paradigms of working hard and laboring, the blood, the sweat, the tears, like where you have decided mentally that that's the only way you're going to get ahead, that's the only way you're going to succeed, that's the only way you're going to generate the income you require for your life. It's not true. And I know this from experience, and I know this from looking at my clients and the shifts and changes that they have made to create lives that are more relaxed and easier. I'll give you an example. I have a friend, she's not a client, she's a friend who does similar work to what I do. And the short version of the story is she used to work 16-hour days. And fast forward about, I think it's been about 10 years, she works about 2 to 4 hours a day, and her income has increased tenfold. No exaggeration. So, if you choose to stay stuck and function and create from hard work, you can do so. It's a choice. Or you can start looking at ways to generate and create your life with greater ease, greater relaxation, and greater flow and greater joy. All right, that is the message for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining me in this space. I look forward to seeing you somewhere in the world, connecting with you somewhere in the world. Have a phenomenal, beautiful day, and I will see you next time.